Welcome to my mini training video. My name is Sally. During this clip, I'll demonstrate how to use a call simulator to solve call quality problems using the end-to-end test mode. Tests can be performed to any device that you can ping to validate different segments of the network and to test for QoS. For example, you can first test to a switch. Then, you can test your gateway router to see if all is healthy. If all is good there, then a test can be performed from your local area network to a remote site across the WAN. If there's an issue, then you know that there's a problem in the cloud. You can then work with your provider or check the router config to make sure that it's applying the QoS policy correctly. The simulated phone calls can be run for up to 24 hours, and the results of each test should be saved for future diagnosis. If any call quality problems are identified, the results should be correlated with network conditions. If all is good at the remote gateway, you can also perform a test to the remote switch for call quality. Then, you can test your remote phone and server. Now let's go ahead and try out the call simulator. The call simulator can be found by going to the Tools tab, and then the VoIP Tools sub-tab, and then select the VoIP Call Simulation client. When the call simulator is initially run, it will ask for the IP address and port number for TotalView's server for licensing, as well as to seed the program with the server and port for performing call path mappings. Also make sure your server port is entered properly. The program is run on a computer where you would like to test a VoIP call. The end-to-end test will send VoIP formatted ICMP ping packets to any IP address endpoint. You can test to a phone, a switch, a router, or gateway, and any remote location that responds to a ping can be used as a destination for testing. This permits you to simulate a VoIP phone call to any IP address without having to set up software or hardware on the receiving or remote IP endpoint. I'm going to enter the IP address of my local gateway, and I'll keep the default codec to simulate. You can also optionally tag the packets with a DSCP or QoS setting. Now I'll go ahead and click on Start. This will perform an end-to-end test to that device. We can see the MOS score, any packet loss, any jitter, or any latency. You can also see details about any point in time by hovering the mouse over the graph element. Looks like all is healthy here, so I'm going to stop this test. And I'm going to test to my remote gateway. I'll keep the QoS setting, and I'll keep the same codec. And I'll go ahead and click on Start. I'm going to go ahead and let this run for a little bit. And once again, you can continue this test for up to 24 hours. And you can also save the results at the top if needed. I'm starting to see packet loss here at 3.3%. And I'm really starting to see some packet loss here. So I know I need to work with my service provider. I'm going to go ahead and stop this test. And do note that if you choose an IP phone as a destination, you should simulate only one call at a time to that location. IP phones tend to have very small CPUs, and cannot handle more than 2 calls worth of traffic before they start to discard packets. Thank you for joining me during this session, and please visit us again for other videos.